Hey there, welcome to the channel. This is Rod, and thank you for taking the minute to listen. Today, we're going to talk about Jesus, and I want to start off just by kind of saying, have you ever done something or been a fan of something that you drove people crazy with it? I can think of a lot of things that fit that bill for me. One is Pittsburgh Steelers football. I've probably crushed people over the years with all the Steeler things I post as football season nears. Um, Crazy, fanatical, don't call me during the Sunday Steelers game type thing. Also, I was CrossFitter for a bunch of years, and that basically everybody knew that, and they knew my paleo diet or what I thought of gyms that weren't CrossFit, right? Like everything revolved around that. But why do I find it so much more difficult to talk about Jesus? Like that's one of the things sometimes that's harder to do because people already know. Like I can be a little obsessive about things, and I've had things in the past that were the flavor of the month. But when you get to know Jesus and you're excited, like, and you want to talk about Him, you want to talk about what He can do, His goodness with friends or family members. You know, how many of you have heard? I mean, I've heard this politely. I get a polite, I'm not really interested. That's not me. I don't do that. You know, I've even had people say, "You really believe those dumb things in the Bible?" Oh, my favorite one. So you think you're just holier than thou, huh? So think about that. If you've had these things happen to you before, um, know that Jesus had it worse than we did. We do. Because when he was around, I'll give you an example. There was a story in Mark, and he was surrounded by a crowd, and his family thought he was a lunatic, and they were trying to restrain him, and he was casting out demons and healing people. But then Jesus was called the devil by the Pharisees. Basically, the leaders of the time of the religious law said, well, if he can cast out demons, then he's got to be possessed by the devil. And so those are major, major accusations, right? And so Jesus basically told them off. And so why would he do that? Well, he told them off for blaspheming things against the Holy Spirit. That's basically saying anything disrespectful to the Holy Spirit or God. So when we follow Christ, people are going to misunderstand us a lot. They may see our enthusiasm and be a little skeptical of us. They might doubt our true intention. They can be wary of what they see in us. But we also are going to experience tension in some relationships as well. I've had that happen. Um, but how did Jesus handle this? Well, the number one thing is he stayed steadfast to the mission, and he defended his ministry to the end. And to Jesus, if you did God's will, you're part of his family. You are his true family. So it's natural for us humans to feel hurt and torn and rejected when we have that option of either following Jesus or pleasing other people, pleasing the world, pleasing our family, pleasing our loved ones, right? Sometimes, like that can even be overwhelming. Um, but that's where we have to seek encouragement from Jesus, from God, but also from fellow believers. We have to have a support team. That's why going to a church is important. That's why having small groups, churches all seem to do this now, the small group. I've been in one now for a long time and with a bunch of guys, and these guys are great. I mean, we are there for each other. when somebody needs something. We've all probably had something or other in during this time frame where we needed the love and the support of all the others. And I can say, like, they've all been there for me, and I've tried to be there for them. So that's one of those things that it really does help. So take heart that, right, that God's going to give you wisdom. He's going to give you strength. He's going to give you the words to say, and he's going to give you power to bring positive change in your own life. And there's going to be negatives too, but you're going to see things differently. And he does this so others can see how good he is. And so one day, those who object your faith, who say no to Jesus, will understand why you love him and hopefully come to know him by seeing how he responds to you through your life. So if you're facing those obstacles today and you're scared to make that choice, ask God to help. Ask God to help you. Ask God to help those who misunderstand. Ask God, pray. Pray for God to soften the hearts of those other people, but also to give you the strength and the courage you need to be able to profess your love for Jesus. So if you haven't done that yet, if you haven't had a chance to profess your heart to Jesus, let me know. Get in touch with me, put a comment, comment, subscribe so others can hear about Jesus as well. Um, thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.